Hi John, you were a little bit confused with the information that I put on, so I thought I'd make this quick video for you explaining. When your oven tripped the electricity supply and the electricity went off, and I told you to retest the element and also the functionality of the timer circuit board, I'd assumed that you'd already set the timer to manual, and you hadn't. What you should have done was actually set the timer to manual and then turn the selector switch to the correct position for the fan oven setting, and then also the thermostat, turn the thermostat on, and you should have power going to the element. But because you hadn't set the timer, of course it will be on auto. That means it's a factory default auto setting, and therefore your oven will not come on at all because the timer was not set to manual. So now you've set the timer up to manual, as you said on the phone earlier after receiving my email, the oven fan is working, but the element is, or there's no heat in the oven, meaning that either the element is not working or you've got a problem with the selector switch or thermostat. So I thought I'd quickly show you where everything is on this page I created for you to assist you. Firstly, I've put the workshop manual and wiring diagram on this, and you can actually see the connections to the selector switch going through to the thermostat and also the connections to the actual circuit board. Now there is one relay on the circuit board, and this relay, when the electricity shuts down or the power to the cooker is turned off, whether it's a power cut, electrical trip in the house, will automatically go to its default setting, and you actually need to turn this onto manual to allow power to pass between these two terminals through to the thermostat and the selector switch. This then allows the selector switch to be selected to the correct program and the thermostat sending electricity to the element. Now, on old systems of cooker, which this is, the thermostat is a capillary tube which is filled with gas, and that expands and contracts once it gets to the right temperature. And this opens a set of points and shuts a set of points which control the actual cooker functionality. The selector switch allows it to set up the different variations that are on the selector switch for the different functions. Selector switches can become faulty, but the first thing that you need to do is, and I've put a workshop manual in here for you as well, the fan oven element is number 98 in the diagram, and that refers to a reference chart below. But you have three elements on your cooker while I'm on this page. You have a fan oven element, a grill element that looks like a dual element, and a base oven element. The combination of these three elements are used in conjunction with the selector switch and the different settings that you put on. So if it was a conventional heating on the oven, it would be using part of the grill element and part of the base. On fan oven setting, it's just using the fan oven element, and of course the grill will be using the total grill for whichever function you're using. I know there's multiple settings and I won't go into that. The circuit board, as I said, is 96 in this diagram on your cooker, although the manufacturer puts in an additional circuit board which might be used on other cookers. The more modern cookers now are using circuit boards instead of thermostats and selector switches for all the functionality on the oven. The timer, by the way, on this cooker is an electronic timer, meaning that it's worked on touch control rather than the old conventional buttons that you used to press in. But going up to the wiring diagram, you can actually see all the different elements that are connected to the different terminals. Number 2 is the lower element, number 3 is the lower element as well, upper heater. Then you've got the turbo heater, which I believe is the fan oven element. The manufacturers call it a turbo heater on this one, and the grill heater element. Now, as I said, with the exploded diagram, just use the reference number of the part you need, 98. Come down to the reference line, which is on the left hand side, and the middle one is the genuine part number. So you have an 1800 watt element on this cooker, and you need to test that using either Ohm's law or continuity on your multimeter, and you will be able to test the element appropriately. Now, I've put a couple of videos here for you that will assist you with regards testing the element, and they explain how to actually use a multimeter to test the element, and also a couple of videos showing you how to replace the element. I've also put this in for you as well, which is a new video I've just done on the more modern cookers for other people to watch as well, with regards to the way circuit boards work on more modern cookers that do not have the old type thermostats and selector switches. These now use NTC sensors which send an ohms reading at a certain temperature to the circuit board. The circuit board deciphers that ohms reading into temperature and then decides when it's going to turn certain relays on and off as required to increase the heat or decrease the heat. And these relays on the circuit board also control things like lights, fan motors, cooling fan motors, and so on. There's also a detailed workshop manual here which shows you everything you need to know about this cooker, how to access the components. I'll just flick through some of the pages. Complete index so you can actually find the page you need, because there are nearly 80 pages. But you're able to flick through. If I bring this down slightly, you can actually flick through and it shows you everything from fitting the cooker to the timer functions and what they do. Also shows you how the cooker comes apart, how to access every component on the cooker, and how to test every component on the cooker. And then they do some very nice charts for test procedures when you have certain errors. So you'll find this exceedingly useful for your cooker. Took me a while to put this together for you, but I thought you needed a video just so you understand. And don't forget, you can open these PDFs up, and if you need to print them, so you've got them on paper, you can do. And all the parts are in links at the bottom of the page. If you need any further help, feel free, just go to the contact us page at the website that's at the top. And if you've got a problem with any other machine, just either go to FAQs or repair guides. Repair guides are pre-made videos that I've done. FAQs are questions that I've answered for customers like yourself, and just enter the model number in the search at the top there, and do a search, and then you'll either find if I've done a tutorial or the repair guide on that. This one I've done an FAQ on. So with regards, if you want to find information on Beko ovens, just type in Beko oven, and then there should be a full list of tutorials to do with Beko ovens there. Okay, I hope that helps you. Any further questions, feel free. You've got my telephone number now if you get stuck. But just follow the video on testing the element, and follow the procedures for also inspecting the selector switch and thermostat as well. Okay, hope this helps you, mate. Have a good day.